Hello fellow booktubers, my name is Lauren, you're watching Dreams Books Courage, and today I'm doing my December TBR, which is why I have donned my winter beanie. I just love the month of December because that means that I know that Christmas is coming up, which is my favorite holiday, and I'm always excited about my December TBRs because a lot of times I have some Christmas related book within it, and this TBR is definitely no exception to that rule. And I'm kind of switching over my TBRs a little bit. I will explain more about it in my bookish plans for 2016 video. Just know that no matter how many books I read in the next few months, they will probably all consist of 5 different books. And I will go more into how I choose those certain books within my 2016 video, but for now let's just go ahead and talk about all 5 of these books which I am so excited to be reading. The first book is actually a reread for me and is my current book that I'm reading, and that is Dash and Lily's Book of Darrows by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. I just love this book so much. I feel like the title is a bit self-explanatory, but Lily decides to leave a red moleskin notebook within the Strand bookstore, which is a ginormous bookstore in New York City, and she leaves a dare inside it, and then Dash decides to pick that book up, and so they're just kind of daring each other on this quest, and it's just a really cute contemporary that takes place in New York City around Christmas time. The last time I read this book was about a year and a half ago, and it was in the middle of summer, right before I went to New York City, and so I read this since it took place in the city. But now going back and reading it, I can imagine the Strand in my head since I've been there, and all these other different sites in New York City, and I just think that's a really fun experience. Plus now it's Christmas time, so while I'm reading this book I am listening to Christmas music, and it's just a fun time overall. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and I'm just so excited to be rereading it. The next book that I plan to be reading in the month of December is not currently with me, but it is called Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman, and I'm actually reading this book for my book club at university, and I am just so excited to be picking this one up. It just sounds really interesting, plus it takes place in a dystopian world, which I always love. If you have been on this channel for a while, then you know how much I love dystopians. So I'm really excited for this one, and just the premise of it sounds really interesting. It's about this world where noughts, which are white people, and crosses, which are black people, are in a sort of hierarchy, but instead of it being like whites above blacks, this time it's blacks above whites. And I just feel like that's a very interesting perspective by thinking about it within the view of slavery within the United States and other countries. And it's about a girl and a boy from different sides of the spectrum falling in love with each other. So it kind of has like a Romeo and Juliet feel to it within a dystopia. And that sounds absolutely amazing to me. I am so excited to be getting into this book. And if you guys have read this one, definitely tell me about it down below. This next book is probably my most exciting read of December because it is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. I've been looking forward to reading this book forever, but whenever I read it I just want to be able to completely delve into the story and not be distracted by all of my homework and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to be reading this one during winter break. Plus this one just takes quite a bit of time to read considering it is over 600 pages and this book is just so big. But I'm just so excited to read this one. This is just such a beautiful cover, and I love everything about the Throne of Glass series. For those of you who do not know, this is the 4th book in the series. The first one is about Selena, who is an assassin. And then you have Dorian, who's a prince, and Kale, who is the captain of the guards, and also Dorian's best friend. So there are just so many things going on. And with every book it gets more intricate and amazing and beautiful and just everything you ever want. So I'm just so excited to fall in love with this book. If you guys have not started this series yet, please just go and start it. I get pretty much everyone in my life into this series because it's so amazing, and you guys will definitely not regret it once you pick this series up, although it might consume your life a little bit. I'm just so excited to get into this book finally. The next book that I plan on reading is my audiobook of the month, and that is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And although I do not know exactly what this one is about, I think it's just about you having a better morning and your morning kind of influencing the rest of your day. And I definitely need some inspiration on that part because I'm just really bad in the mornings and really bad at waking up, and I'm really hoping that this book will inspire me in some way. I really enjoy self-help books, so hopefully I'll really like this one, and hopefully it will give me a few tips and tricks to get up in the mornings. And the last book that I'm planning on reading in the month of December is also my graphic novel of the month, and that is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. And this just looks like such a cute and wonderful read. For those of you who do not know, Noelle Stevenson actually did the art design on the cover of Fangirl, and her art style definitely shows kind of the same way within Nimona. Here's an example of what her art style looks like. I just really like how it looks and I feel like I'm really going to enjoy the story. The main character is an assistant to a supervillain and she might also be quite evil herself, but this just sounds so good and such a cute read, and I'm just really looking forward to getting into this one. I know for a lot of people this is one of their favorite graphic novels and I've heard nothing but good things about this. Plus, it just seems like a great way to end out the year. So that has been my December TBR, but that might not be all that I managed to read in December because I am planning on participating in 2 different book reading marathons, one being the Cramathon hosted by Witty Novels, and the other one being the Christmas Booktubeathon. Because I do not know all the challenges for those 2 readathons yet, I'll just post a separate video about those 2 readathons and what I'll be reading for each of them. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I would love to know if you guys are going to be participating in those readathons with me. They're just going to be so much fun, and I'm also just looking forward to everything that I'm going to be reading this month. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to go get back to reading.